everyone doing there tonight? This is Undead Nightmare 24 back with a video. Hope everyone's doing well out there. It's gonna be a Saturday night horror review. I am recording this on Saturday night. I probably won't have it uploaded till Sunday, but I'm counting it Saturday night because this is when I was recording it. It's gonna be a late 80s horror film, about 87. It's a Severin edition. So everyone sit back, relax, enjoy, and let's get this started. My review for this Saturday is going to be 1987's Retribution. This is the slipcover I'm showing you guys. I really like this slip. It is flimsy, but I like the color scheme on it. And I took it off because it's hard to take this slipcover off. It's real tight on the release, but here's the actual release, the Blu-ray. And it's pretty funny because this cover right here in the front, the guy kind of looks like Harold Ramis. He gone from Ghostbusters. That's what he reminded me of. He looks nothing like the guy in the film. The guy in the film looks more like an older version of like Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber. But anyways, let's get into the film. This is directed by Guy Mager. He also directed Stepfather 3 and Children of the Corn Revelation. This stars Dennis Lipscomb. He came out in Eyes of Fire from 1983, and this is all Eyes of Fire is also getting released from Severin, so there's got to be connections there. This also stars Suzanne Snyder. She needs no introduction. She came out on a lot of horror films from the 80s: Return of the Living Dead Part 2, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Night of the Creeps. The list goes on, and I always had a crush on Suzanne Snyder, man. Real pretty lady there. This also stars Hoyt Axton from Gremlins. He's the dad on Gremlins, so that's a pretty noticeable cast in this film. So this is a supernatural horror film. This pretty much tells the story of this guy, George Miller. He's pretty much going to commit suicide right away in the beginning of the film. It leads to that. You got these people with some cool Halloween masks because it is taking place on Halloween. So this would be a good film to watch on Halloween. But anyways, I'm rambling here. But yeah, he's on top of a building. He's about to jump off. He's like a painter pretty much, and he's pretty much had it. He can't sell paintings. He's having a real rough time in life, so he's real depressed. He does jump off the building. He lands on a car. His suicide is unsuccessful. They do revive him, but at the same time, strange things are happening to him. He ends up in a medical facility, and he's having these real bizarre nightmares, and he sees this guy getting murdered throughout his nightmares, and it's haunting him. And he pretty much starts to freak out. You see him with night sweats, shakes, everything. So they pretty much assign him this doctor. She's real careful, she cares about him a lot, and wants to take care of him. She's real nice to him, and he finally opens up to her. He needs a cane. He can no longer walk good from the accident, and he starts to recover. And he, thanks to this doctor, he starts to want to live a normal life again. So they release him back onto the streets. But that's when pretty much all hell breaks loose. He continues to have these nightmares again. But as these nightmares continue, it starts to lead to murder, and he believes he's part of it. He actually says, "I'm the killer," which does point to him. And as he has these nightmares, there's a body ends up murdered on the front paper. So he's guilty. He feels responsible. He wants to turn himself in, but no one's listening to him. They're just saying he's delusional, and he's not even at these scenes of the crime, so no one really's taking him serious. So as these nightmares continue to go on, he seeks for help from friends. He is a good guy, but then he has another side that comes to him. Is he schizophrenic? Is something taking control of him? That's the twist in this film to find out. But yeah, it does have a pretty evil entity during this movie throughout nightmares, and it leads to a pretty good satisfying ending. I had a little nitpick with the ending. I wish it would have gone a little bit more where I wanted to on some payback, but I'm gonna leave it at that. That's basically your film. It's a supernatural film, very 80s like. The soundtrack is awesome in this film. I really like the soundtrack, and it does come with this edition. You get the CD soundtrack. This film's real colorful. You get a greenish color scheme, a reddish, and kind of like a purplish pink. It's real nice, colorful. Gives it that 80s retro feel to it. And like I said, there's some good scenes. It takes you on a nostalgia trip back to the 80s with this one, late 80s. I could see inspiration for, how could I say, Nightmare on Elm Street. There are some stuff that seems like that way, not put together as well, but you do get like some feel for that. There's two cuts of this film. There's a theatrical cut, and then there's a extended Dutch video version, which has like VHS footage. There's not much of a difference. I watched both cuts, and the theatrical cut, it's pretty much the same. The only thing on the extended cut I noticed is it has some, like, on the kills, shows a little more blood and guts, like real brief though, and it goes to a VHS kind of transfer. But I would recommend the extended cut if you want to see a little more gore in the kills. But yeah, there's some pretty good kills, man. There's a kill. He pretty much puts like a kind of torch, a welding torch, to his arm and pretty much welds his own hand off. I thought that was pretty cool. See some blood gushing on that scene. There are some fantastic kills in this film. Let me get into my thoughts about this film. Like I said, there's a nitpick on the ending I wanted more out of, but it's a small nitpick. Overall, I really enjoyed this film, and I hadn't seen it, and I'm glad I did, because this is a gem, man. It reminds me of a classic 80s horror film, which it is, one I'd never seen. So I enjoyed everything from the soundtrack to the kills, the atmosphere. Story was pretty solid, and overall everything it did it for me. So I'm gonna, like I said, the color scheme was awesome too. I'm gonna give this film the Undead approval, man. I recommend this film if you like that 80s vibe to horror films, which I'm sure a lot of you do. But yeah, this is 1987's Retribution from Severin Films, and this is a loaded edition. It has a lot of special features in it as well. A lot of interviews with the actors and actresses. I haven't got to those yet, but I can't wait to, because it has a lot of actors and actresses I enjoyed from the 80s. So that's going to be my thoughts and reviews for 1987's Retribution. Hope you enjoyed. Please hit a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. If you've seen the film, keep it spoiler free in the comments. I hope everyone's having a great weekend out there. This is Undead Nightmare 24, back with a video. Be kind to each other and keep it horror. Peace.
By fate, two men are born on the same day. By destiny, they die at the same moment. By a supernatural act, they both come back. One good, one evil, one body.
George, what's going on over there?
Little Dad.
George, are you all right? George!
You're suggesting that your patient is possessed? By whom? It is a time for fear. It is a time for terror. It is a time for retribution. Retribution. The time is now.